Welcome back. Late last year, I had visited Pastor Oloimoja at the farm, and he had just finished harvesting 18,000 kilograms of pulp onions from an acre of his farm, which he sold at 75 shillings a kilo. He also went ahead and completed a second harvest of another 90,000 kilograms of onions from another 5-acre piece of land.
I travel a lot. I started a congregation here for the community here. I started the church here 27 years ago. Now the church has its pastor. So what I do is I travel. I'm a traveling preacher. And when pastors invite me, I go and speak in their congregation. And never do I preach without mentioning farming, the power of farming, the grace of farming, and the holiness of farming, because farming is holy work.
With that kind of harvest, Pastor Oloimoja had made history as one of the most successful farmers to run a very productive farm via his mobile phone, since he was based in Los Angeles in the United States, where he relied on videos and pictures sent to him by his farm manager in Kenya to make decisions.
It is very possible because of today's technology. WhatsApp is an excellent mode of communication. Wi-Fi, as long as we have an internet connection, anywhere in the world you can do anything. Plus also good people management skills.
In a world where farmers, especially those farming from far, were complaining of dishonest workers, few dared to farm from far. But for Pastor Oloimoja, who found a way of making it work all the way from the United States of America.
Well, I'm pretty much open, but I'm based in the US most of the time, but I now frequent Kenya and Los Angeles, so I just love being in the farm. I'm here most of the time these days, but not as full-time as I want to.
The career pastor lives and works in Los Angeles in the United States with his family, and is currently in the country to harvest his first crop of tomatoes. But where does he find the time to hone his skills in farming while at the same time preaching the gospel?
The love of nature and the love of my people. I love my people so much, and I want them to be able to see how much God has blessed them. The land is what they have. They might not have education, but they have the land. And when you have the land, you have the gold, you have everything. And I want them to know that there is gold here too. There's not only gold in the Western world, but God has given us gold here as well. And I want to be a part of that, inspiring the community to do that.
According to the pastor, onions from Tanzania have for years dominated the local market because they are produced in large scale, which enable farmers to make profits even when they sell at low prices. But Oloimoja believes that Kenyan onion farmers can reclaim their market by producing high-quality onions and tomatoes with a long shelf life because they are well cured.
The market is really there, but you have to go for the market. That's really what you got to understand. The challenge we have in onions is there's a lot of flooding of Tanzania onions to the market. Singida beat us a lot, and also that's Mangola. But it doesn't mean that Kenyan farmers cannot grow onions. It just means, number one, we have to do it consistently. Number two, we have to do professionally. And number three, we have to get out and go look for the market. The market won't come to you, but the market is out there. People have to eat every day.
According to the pastor, since he lives abroad, studying and scouting for an ideal market early enough is crucial to avoid unnecessary inconveniences.
The dream I have is really to maybe come back from the US one of these days and do this thing full time. It's very joyful, it's very, very therapeutic just being in the farm, having lived in the Western world for close to 22 years now. And nothing is better than to contribute to the beauty of my country and help to build the Agenda 4, which the presidency is driving for.
Oloimoja tells me an agronomist visits the farm twice a month, or if need be, to inspect the crop and recommend pesticides to be used.
What I can tell people from this region is, number one, to really make good use of their land. There is no poverty in Kenya, particularly in Kajiado County. Everybody here in our group ranch have at least 100 acres of land, arable land, that they can grow. So instead of them selling at a throwaway price, they can manage the land, they can farm the land, and they can grow food, and they can make a dependable resource for themselves.
Apart from onions and tomatoes, Oloimoja's farm also produces a variety of vegetables, which he sells to his neighbors.
These vegetables goes to Kajiado, Bisil, Ngatatai, Maldisa, and Namanga. And the beauty is they all come here and fetch it for themselves. So we don't have to go look for the market. They come to look for food.
Despite having a very successful season, Reverend Olo Umoja says he had also faced a myriad of challenges, and he also talked to me about his future plans.
Roads are very horrible. With rains, you can't transport anything from here to the main road. That's one of the biggest challenges we have here. That food might be available, but it can be not accessible because of the structure of roads. The other challenges we have is really the workforce. We don't have much people who want to do farming. Everybody wants to run into towns and look for white-collar jobs, despising farming, that there is no economy in farming. But the lesson in that is actually there's gold everywhere. There's gold right here at home. If people can only settle here and make themselves a living through farming. I don't think the government is doing much of anything. Because in Navy they are doing something. I think they can do more. You see, they can open much more agricultural courses for young people. There are those people who cannot afford to go to 4-year university or even earn degrees in different fields. But I don't see them a lot training them farming on how they can grow money at home without leaving to go to Nairobi. You find a lot of young people going to become watchmen, especially in my community, go to become security guards or just common laborers, while they have all the blessing of this land. If the government can empower the young people by giving them the skills and even the capital investment, a lot can be tapped into youth. Well, a journey of 1,000 miles starts with one step. So take the initial step. Everybody can borrow money from your mama, borrow the capital from your papa, borrow from wherever. Credit unions are out there, even banks are giving loans. But you got to show the willingness to be able to do that. I'm really encouraging the youth for self-employed for so many reasons. Number one, the freedom of life. You're really able to create your own life and live according to your own standard without any limitation of anything. Number two, the sky will become the limit because it's really the energy you put into it without any restrictions of the office. I'm not saying don't go to work if you get a job, but working in the office is not the only way to make a living.
On this day, Reverend Olo Umoja had also invited members of his community for a Thanksgiving celebration as they give thanks to God for the bumper harvest.
We have a very special event today of Thanksgiving, celebrating 90 tons of onions for the first time in this region. Just never happened before. And so it's a great eye-opener. It's a very big wow for a lot of people.
The Reverend also had advice for Kenyans on how Kenyan youth can make money from the soil.
The only thing that I can tell Kenyans is we talk about agriculture is the backbone of the economy of this country, but it can only be that strong backbone as long as we are willing to work hard and settle here. People think about going to the US, going to Europe is where the economy is, but trust me, I've lived there for the last 22 years. There's no better economy than the one we have here, if only we're willing to work it.
Pastor Joseph Olo Umoja now plans to turn his 225-acre farm into a learning center for his community and the country at large.
Well, first of all, the county government of Kajiado do come. The deputy governor opened the farm about 4 months ago officially. They name it Olaitotioni Farm, which is what you find on the door there, on the gate, sorry. And the name of Olaitotioni means feeding, the one who feeds others. So that is our mission, to empower people to feed themselves and be able to feed others. What do they do when they come here? They are so much excited, just like you are, to see what can happen in the middle of almost nowhere. That is gold in every corner of this planet. That excites them. They come. The UN group of FAO, Food and Agriculture Organization, came here too to be able to see what the solar system can be able to do for those who cannot access the grid power.
Reverend Joseph Olo Umoja has given telephone farming a whole new meaning, and that with good management, you can do farming from anywhere in the world, and it is profitable. Philip Keitany for The Next Frontier.